The AI revolution is not a coming thing. It is already underway, and it is changing, behind the scenes, how value is added, how labor is organized, and where power flows in international markets. What is historically important about what is happening now is that machines are just going to get intelligence, but intelligence is just going to become a commodity, a thing that can be automated. And when that happens, whole segments of the job market that were once safe because of education, creativity, and experience suddenly become endangered.
However, a new world of work, of ownership, and of wealth is also now being created, and a new world of digital global markets is going to drive everything by 2035. In most of recent history, technological revolutions have brought about advancements where technological replacement of physical work has occurred prior to replacement of cognitive work. Machines replaced human strength, not human intelligence. Take, for example, where the steam engine replaced manual labor, electricity replaced assembly lines, and computers replaced manual work in administration, with initial stages in tasks related to computing and processing. The AI revolution offers something new on this front because it aims to substitute activities such as prediction, synthesis, prediction, and optimization, which define cognitive work across all sectors. Traditions aren't dying out because firms need fewer staff. They're dying out because the economic model upon which the job existed is failing. Just because a machine can do something better, cheaper, and with fewer errors doesn't mean the job rewards tradition. I count and I communicate. Accountants had a reason for their existence. Computers can process millions of transactions instantly. I communicate. Customer service jobs existed and thrived because they involved human interaction. Computers can process thousands of questions at the same time. Even jobs based on skill, law, medicine, and engineering will need to redefine themselves because computers can do the analysis and design work. This change does not remove the need for human participation altogether, but dramatically compresses the demand for labor. A trained professional with the aid of AI technology is able to do the job that previously employed teams of workers. This is known as the amplification of labor, as opposed to substitution, although the effect on the economy is the same, a reduction in the number of jobs produced along with the increased output. Effects are not equal for industries and societies. The effects of the third wave have hit the middle skill level the hardest. Administrative assistants, data entry clerks, junior analysts, paralegals, translators, and content developers are the ones being disrupted. A considerable middle class sustained itself by these kinds of employment. As the middle class diminishes, there is a polarization of work, where the high skill and high wage functions sit alongside the low skill services, and the middle is depleted. This effect is not purely conceptual. Nevertheless, AI is also giving rise to new job types, which were not present a decade ago. Some new occupations are prompt engineers, AI trainers, AI auditors, data curators, automation architects, or algorithmic ethicists. New industries are being developed as a whole, centered around the implementation, management, and optimization of AI. Nonetheless, new types of work are characterized by new skills, requiring less manpower. The globalized character of AI ratchets up all these dynamics. In contrast to other industrial revolutions, which were limited by space and infrastructure, AI occurs on globalized data networks that are oblivious to borders. What is developed in one country is instantly usable everywhere else. This integrates a planetary labor market in cognitive labor, in which competition is no longer local, but global. This leads to a harmonization of wages at the lowest level for commodified labor and ownership at the top. The world in 2035, driven by AI and the digital economy, will be fundamentally different from today's world. Value will increasingly shift to those who own three resources: compute, data, and distribution. Compute is hardware and energy consumption required by powerful AI models. Data is the fuel from which intelligence is derived. Distribution is platforms that embed AI in workflows, products, and systems. Those who are not owners or possessors of these resources are fated to find themselves in an environment shaped by others and as contractors, not employees. This means that what constitutes a job needs to be reconsidered. What made a job in the old economy a stable and defined set of tasks is no longer true in the new economy. What is desirable in the new economy is working by project, where the job is broken down into bite-sized components. Careers are portfolios, not ladders. Earnings are tied to relevance rather than tenure. Even now, education systems are off-kilter with this fact. Too many schools are still turning out graduates with skills for occupations in categories that are diminishing or vanishing. The relevance of memorization, multiple choice testing, and specialization will dwindle when all knowledge in the world can instantly be called upon by a processor, and when any specialized task will immediately become possible with an AI.
Even more important and difficult skills to cultivate will come to the forefront: thinking, integration, ethics, and creative vision. The AI revolution is changing the geography of economic power. Those cities and regions where data centers, research facilities, and technology hubs are concentrated get an edge over others. Countries which can invest in infrastructure and technology infrastructure for AI get a chance to be a winner of this revolution, and others become dependent consumers of technology, sending their own data abroad and getting value-added services.
A new form of digital dependence is emerging here, similar to previous ones of economic imperialism, but by algorithms, not by arms. Financial structures, accordingly. In this process, the movement of money is more drawn towards non-tangible assets than towards physical assets. Businesses with little physical presence, with abilities in AI, can reach whopping market valuations. It is difficult for conventional models of valuation to measure the scalability and network effect elements a firm with AI can offer.
At times, the markets can get more eager about stories relating to disruption and efficiency than can be justified by the underlying realities. Social repercussions will follow economic repercussions. The social status and identity that came along with employment will begin to disappear, since employment was not only a source of income but also of purpose and meaning. AI-based displacement will therefore pose a challenge to this psychological and social notion of employment.
Societies are faced with challenges concerning dignity and worth in light of people not being economically necessary. The responses to policies trail changes in technology. The labor policies, taxation, and welfare structures were intended for a fixed economy. They are challenged by issues of gig economy, automation, and platform power. Suggestions such as universal basic income, portability of benefits, and a reduced working week may be considered, but each is fraught with its own set of issues and problems.
The AI revolution is not equipped with solutions to be implemented. Rather, it is a challenge to negotiate its solutions. Significantly, the onset of AI need not necessarily translate to the dystopian future. It is the very same technology that is causing job displacement that may also help to eliminate tedium, enhance productivity, and unleash creativity. Provided the right management, the potential exists to enable shorter working hours, improved standards of living, and greater access to knowledge through the use of AI. This scenario is more dependent on how benefits are shared rather than AI per se. The distinction between human and machine labor will become increasingly blurred by the year 2035. Humans will increasingly be seen as supervisors, designer-interpreters, and deliverers of the results of intelligent systems. Decision-making will become a team effort, in which machines offer suggestions and humans offer the advice of experience as to which course of action to take in any particular context or situation under which the decision would be put into effect. Such a decision-making team could never be displaced by a machine because humans possess creativity, the power to ask the right questions as a follow-up to a machine's. The emerging global digital economy will be shaped not by an innovation or an enterprise, but by a paradigm shift in intelligence. Artificial intelligence converts intelligence from a scarce human resource into a plentiful economic resource. This abundance causes a paradigm shift in the labor market, business, and the political landscape. Old jobs are not disappearing, but the economic importance of them is. It is vital to understand this transformation for both labor and for citizens. The choices and actions that emerge in the areas of education and investment policy will determine who will benefit and who will pay for the cost of AI that will follow. The AI revolution is more than a story of technological advancements. It is a moment like the Industrial Revolution or the Age of Electricity, when similar transformations occurred. It is critical that these transformations are recognized on time and can thus influence these trends for good. Yet, it is not an irresistible future that awaits in artificial intelligence. Rather, it is an outline of what might lie ahead that is being hammered out in corporate boardrooms, classroom think tanks, Congress, and home. In 2035, it is expected that all members of society will see what lies ahead in terms of the new world economy.